Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Ben, I am one half of the Blammer Bros duo, and today we're here to talk about my favorite cartoon, SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, SpongeBob SquarePants, or simply SpongeBob, is an American animated comedy television series created by marine science educator and animator Steven Hillenburg for Nickelodeon. It chronicles the adventures of the title character and his aquatic friends in the fictional underwater city of Bikini Bottom. It is the fifth longest running American animated series, and its high popularity has made it a media franchise. It is the highest rated Nickelodeon series and the most profitable property for Paramount Consumer Products, generating over $13 billion in merchandising revenue as of 2019. Okay, so yeah, those are pretty much like the big basic facts behind the show, but we're not here for facts. We're here because why is this my favorite show? Well, I can't really give you a tangible reason, but I can just give you my background experience with SpongeBob. I remember watching the premiere episode, the pilot, when it first aired way back when. I must have been like 9 years old, and I could not stop laughing. I swear to God, I'm like, man, this show is quirky, it's weird, it's zany, the jokes are like really creative and fresh, and it just felt like something totally different from what I had seen in cartoon shows up until that point. And I agree, at first it might seem a little strange, like, what, a cartoon show about a sponge and he's living underwater and he's best friends with a starfish? Like, what is this cartoon? I know it sounds weird on paper, but when you sit down and watch it, the jokes, they land really good, and the storylines, I feel like they're relatable to just about anyone. And I think I can appreciate, because I mentioned earlier, the main animator, the creator, Steven Hillenburg, was a marine biologist, and the show actually came out of comics that he would create for his students to entertain them and simultaneously educate them. And while this isn't really like an educational show, it still works. It has, it has the underwater themes. It teaches you a little bit about, like, Squidward. He's a cephalopod. Did you know that? I learned it from SpongeBob. I think it's really cool that he was able to combine his passion of marine biology with the creativity of the show and like make this amazing humorous thing that makes people happy. It makes me happy. I love it. And like I had already mentioned, I was watching the show from the very beginning when I was a kid, and I loved it because of all the slapstick humor and all the wackiness and the craziness, right? But as I grow older, I still really enjoy it because there is really witty, clever jokes that will fly right over the kids' heads, and I really appreciate that like dual level of comedy and humor that kids and adults can enjoy, and they can enjoy it together. That's really cool. Another huge factor of why this show still remains relevant to me and why I love it so much is the evolution of the characters that you relate to. When I first started watching the show, I related more to SpongeBob. He's like happy-go-lucky, he loves to have fun, he's humorous, he's got great jokes, he's got a best friend. Everything's just really fun around him and cool. Now, the older I get, the more I relate with Squidward, who is very calloused and cold. He's very jaded, he's very tired of life, and that's just how I feel as I get older. I'm constantly reminded of a really funny alteration to a timeless quote. Originally, it's, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. In this case, it's you either die a SpongeBob or you live long enough to become the Squidward. And I also would like to make a very quick preface that my love and knowledge of the show really only extends to the first 3 seasons and the first SpongeBob movie, because that is the time frame in which creator Steven Hillenburg was directly involved in the project, and he thought that that was the perfect time frame for a cartoon show. And after he had paused the show to work on the movie, once they had completed the movie, Steven Hillenburg himself felt like that was all he wanted to do with SpongeBob, and he was ready to move on. And unfortunately, like I said, SpongeBob makes so much money for Paramount that there's no way Nickelodeon was going to let go of him. So instead, they just brought in another head writer to take over for Steven Hillenburg. So with that being said, if you do enjoy anything season 4 beyond and any of the other movies that were created, that's really cool. I'm glad for you. I'm sure it's really funny still. It's just that's stuff that I haven't really watched, so I can't really comment on that. Now, for the Shley Judges event, I chose for my favorite episode of the show, Dying for Pie, which is Season 2, Episode 4. The loose premise of this episode is that Squidward is tasked with getting a gift for SpongeBob, however, it has to be homemade. So, in a last-ditch effort, Squidward propositions some pirates for a homemade pie. Unbeknownst to Squidward, this pie is a bomb, and SpongeBob unwittingly eats it thereafter. So, Squidward realizes that SpongeBob only has 1 day left to live, so he sets out to give SpongeBob the very best day of his life. They have all kinds of fun and antics, and they sit down to watch the sunset. Squidward anticipates SpongeBob blowing up and dying, and turns out SpongeBob didn't eat the pie. He was just kind of hanging out in his pocket the whole time, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. Why do I love this episode so much? To me, it's like the pinnacle of the show SpongeBob, and with that, it's also a pinnacle of his relationship with Squidward. It really highlights how their relationship works, the like ever constant optimism of SpongeBob, the very callous, like jaded outlook that Squidward has, very negative, you know, and it's just it's funny, but it's also heartwarming because Squidward goes out of his way to make sure that SpongeBob has the best day of his life, doing all these silly, goofy antics, and at the end of the day, it was all for nothing, but it still counts that Squidward went out of his way to make SpongeBob happy. It's just such a good episode, so many jokes. This montage right here that's happening is one of my favorites. So many classic quotes that people always like to bring up. The ending is hilarious, the comedic timing with the pie and the explosions, SpongeBob tripping over the rock. It's just, it's perfect. I love it, it's great. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at Shley's rubric and how she's gonna grade our favorite shows. Let's take a look here. Number 1, is the theme song good?
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
If nautical nonsense be something you wish.
SpongeBob!
Number 2, is there a little guy? Let me introduce to you, chat, Plankton, the littlest guy of them all.
This is Plankton, stealing me booty. Hear me, crabs. When I discover your formula for Krabby Patties, I'll run you out of business.
Number 3, would I be anyone for Halloween?
What do you think?
Perfect.
Is this not the perfect Halloween costume? Look no further. But beyond that, there's plenty of possibilities here. You can do Patrick, Sandy, Squidward, Mr. Krabs. You do sexy versions. Sexy Squidward, am I right? Number 4, did it make me feel feelings?
If I were to die right now in some sort of fiery explosion due to the carelessness of a friend, well, that'd just be okay.
Not gonna lie though, when we were watching this in Shley's Discord, I was legit on the verge of tears during this moment. Number 5, is it a cartoon? Is this a cartoon? Yes, it is. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. Number 6, do I like the art style? Now, I don't know about you, but me personally, I love the art style with SpongeBob. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's bright. The animation is usually nice and smooth. I love when they do these close-up shots. Look at this, the detail on the sweater made out of eyelashes. Okay, so there you have it. There's the rubric. There's the SpongeBob. There's my favorite episode, Dying for Pie. You got the reasons why I enjoy this show. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you at least enjoyed this video about the show. And at the end of the day, to me, SpongeBob kind of symbolizes what I think of when I imagine a cartoon. To me, it's the epitome of like, wake up on a Saturday morning, get your bowl of cereal, turn the TV on, and enjoy the cartoons. That's what I think of when I think of SpongeBob. And I also just wanted to give a huge shout out to the creator, Steven Hillenburg. May he rest in peace. Unfortunately, he passed away in his home November 26th, 2018 at the age of 57. So this one goes out to you, Steven. We love you.
And it's sweet.